Hello everyone and welcome to the video game... No, wait, hold on a second. It's just seems a bit wrong. Gotta make this right. There we are. And welcome to the video game room tour of 2020. But yeah, in all seriousness, I am pretty happy that we are finally doing a video game room tour for 2020, because since moving into this unit, I have been meaning to do an updated video game room tour, but now, today is finally that day. Also, I'm going to try and speed through this section right here because for the past few days, I've been getting somewhat of a headache or a migraine, and I'm going to be honest, it kind of has been affecting me in terms of actually trying to motivate and do stuff, but regardless, we're doing it. And also, to any of the long-time viewers, I highly recommend watching to the end of the video because I will be talking about reviews and for the future and what state they are going to be in, but that's for later. But for the meantime, yeah, let's get started. So let us commence this video game room tour. When people first walk in, I want them to know exactly what kind of person I am. They'll say, "What are you, some kind of nerd?" And I'll say, yeah, pretty much. So let's do a complete lap around the room, starting with the items on this already built top rack. I like to have different variety of anything that's related to video games. We have a cover art of Shinsuke Nakamura, the postcards from South Park The Fractured But Whole, a soundtrack CD of The Witcher 3, the Demon Finn Balor statue, and 2 plushies from Undertale, Flowey the Flower, and Papyrus. Down the bottom of that, we have my whiteboard. This helps remind me of what task I need to complete because I can be pretty busy at times. Whenever it's what foods I need to make or how much hours I've worked, it does help me write things down instead of keeping them in my mind. Moving on to the table is my 3 Nintendo consoles just chilling and hanging around. We have the NES, SNES, and the N64. I'm not using them at the moment, and when the time comes, I will eventually hook them up to the TV and use those systems. But for now, they're just on this table for display. Now, usually I would hang up some posters to show off my nerd side, but unfortunately my landlord doesn't allow posters to be hanged up. So I'm just leaving them aside until the day comes when I can. I will admit though, it does kind of look empty without it. In the middle of the room, we have my lamp table, which works great as my side table. I can use this for my coffee cup or anything in general. And next to it is my good old 2-seater yellow couch. I may consider updating this 2-seater couch into something more of a leather touch, but it's fine for the meantime. I do have a blanket on there as well to cover myself on those cold days and nights. Next up is the TV. I like this television because not only it's 4K, but you also have an AV slot as well, so I could hook up my PlayStation 2 there. I still have my TV unit as well, but again, I might consider updating it as it does look old. Now next up is the consoles I have on standby for playing games for recording or just for fun. My PS4, PS3, and finally the PS2. I will have to try to make room for the upcoming PS5, which is probably why I need to update my TV unit. Just for lols, here's my cord setup from the back as well. I tried to set it up so there'll be no potential fire hazards. I do turn off the switch when I'm no longer playing games, so hopefully that takes care of that, I'm not really sure. Now, one of the changes I did earlier was putting up some LED lights. I love it as it does transform an entire room that may seem dull into something more like a techno dance party. Unfortunately though, I did have to remove it for the same reason of the posters. And plus, it didn't entirely stick to the top as well, so I had some cords that were not sticking. And I think I set it up all wrong anyway. I think I was supposed to stick it on the wall just before it touches the roof, and as you can see, I didn't do that and I was left with some tear, so that's a lot of damage. I am still open to the idea of LED lights in the future, but for the circumstances I'm in, I think it's best to just wait it out for a moment. And here's my computer/work area. I use this space to record, edit, write scripts, pretty much anything, and without it, this channel would be screwed. On the top right side, we have my devices I use for recording. My Elgato Game Capture HD60, the AV to HDMI for the PlayStation 2, and the 2-to-1 HDMI box that allows me to record the PlayStation 3. Beneath that, we have all of my Nintendo collection. Right now, the NES games are on the shelf, but I do like to keep the boxes around. Down the bottom, we have my microphone I use for recording audio, and I'm actually using this microphone as we speak. And in the middle, we secretly have my original Xbox and the Xbox 360 consoles just hanging in the bottom of the computer. Here's my computer, and again, without it, I would be forced to cancel some upcoming videos. And we also have my Razer mouse and my keyboard, but I'm not sure what brand the keyboard is. On the left side, we have some more items. Please ignore my coffee cup, that's not supposed to be there. The box from the mouse, the steelbook of Rugby League Like 4 and Call of Duty World War II, and Crash Bandicoot in a duck form. Now, one of the cool things about this room is the natural light that comes into this place. All I need to do is open up the curtain and voila, we have light. I enjoy it though, I can safely open up these curtains without having to worry about the light hitting the TV, so now I can see just fine. And finally, last but not least, we have the video game shelf along with the video games. Now, I'm not doing this to flex and show off my collection, I just collect video games because it's a fun hobby. I love seeing things progress, and this is no exception. On the top of the shelf is some more items. The figures of Crash Bandicoot, Tiny Tiger, the power armor from Fallout 4, Kazuya Mishima, and Spyro the Dragon along with Sparks. And of course, you know the video games. From top to bottom, we have the NES, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 4. And right down the bottom, we have the giant Crash Bandicoot statue just minding its own business. And with that said, that was the video game room tour. Honestly, this is probably my favorite one. Of course, it's not perfect by any means, and I'm not trying to be a massive show-off. All I'm doing is showing you exactly what's been added and what's been removed, and showing you some of the items I've been collecting over the past 3 to 4 years. Speaking of what's been removed, some of you may notice that I didn't show you the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch. Well, that's because I sold them. I'm not saying those consoles were bad by any means. I enjoyed having those systems and there's nothing wrong with them, but the reason why was because I rarely use them, not as much as my PlayStation consoles, so I figured if I'm not using them, maybe I'll give it to someone else who will use them. It was fun while it lasted, but as a game collector, I need to understand on when enough is truly enough, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with what I have, even if I don't have every console in existence. Okay, so now we're towards the end, so let's talk about the reviews. One of the questions I wanted to ask myself before rebranding this channel was, do I want to bring in the reviews along with me? And now I finally have an answer. Yes, and also no. I love discussing about video games no matter if they are great or mediocre, and by the next game I want to discuss, you probably know what it is just by looking at the gameplay footage. But here's the catch though. They will no longer be called reviews. That's pretty much the only change that's happening. The rest is still the same, it's just that the word reviews will no longer take place. But yeah, if you have any questions about this game room, then I'm more than happy for you to comment down below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And until next time, thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, the links will be down in the description box below. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm Justin from That PlayStation Nerd, telling you to keep calm and keep playing video games.